Our society has countless images, ideas, and stereotypes about change agents, people who help an organization transform by improving business process and interpersonal interactions. Whether influencing fashion, business, art, entertainment, science, politics, or law, these change agents have and continue to positively impact today's society on so many levels. And today, we are proud to share the story of these business owners, coaches, innovators, and thought leaders from various industries who are eager to educate, inspire, and motivate you. This is Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Welcome to Our Voices, powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the owner and co-founder of Dressing Room 8, co-host of Woke and Free, and the lifestyle editor of Plus Model magazine. And this show is focused on highlighting the amazing work of powerful change agents who have a great message to share with the world. And today I'm really excited to be speaking with Raegan Sealy, who's a poet, singer, rapper, and the founder of Soundboard NYC. So what is Soundboard NYC? It's a nonprofit that brings rap, writing, and performance opportunities to underserved communities. She's a fierce champion of social change through the arts. Regan draws on her own experience of overcoming sexual abuse, addiction, and domestic violence in her work as an artist and advocate. Regan is a 2018 TED resident, a 2017 TNP Scholar, a 2016 P.E.O International Peace Prize winner, and a 2015 Fulbright Scholar. She's based here in New York City, but talks, teaches, and performs around the USA. So without further ado, Regan, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm well. Thank you for the amazing introduction.
Absolutely. Thank you for being an amazing person with quite the bio. So let's get people up to date. So how did you first become an artist and lead us through that whole process of how you became the woman you are today?
Oh, God, that's a long process, man. You take more than like a 5-minute phone call. I think all artists start as fans, and that was definitely my experience. I started singing as a kid, and I started writing as a teenager when I really started getting into what I commonly refer to as lyrical music, which isn't always rap. Like, I was a huge Eminem fan when I was a kid, and Outkast, but I also loved Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell, and I realized it was the words of the music that really was connecting with me, not just the music. So I started writing, I started performing, and kind of just carried on from there. So we are like 15 years later or something.
Absolutely. And as I mentioned earlier, so you have overcome sexual abuse, addiction, domestic violence. How did you do that through music and art?
Yeah. That it really was through music. I think I don't know of a better way for myself and for a lot of people I work with of processing difficult things and dealing with your emotions than through creativity. And that's not always music, but lyrical music was what it was for me. For some people, it could be art or dance or writing and reading. But really, I feel like telling our stories is how we connect with each other as humans, and that is what all good art does. So it allowed me, music and writing allowed me to tell my story in a way that made sense to me, in a way that allowed me to reframe it and take control of it myself.
I love that. Okay. And then what was kind of the origin story of Soundboard NYC?
So Soundboard is like the same idea, just in a different form. I really believe that music and writing has these enormous capacities to help people process trauma and connect and develop themselves, and yet they seem so inaccessible and they seem so underused and under-recognized as mediums for that purpose. So Soundboard is like, yes, I'm an artist and I promote that through my work and stuff, but Soundboard is an organization that actually kind of does the groundwork. You know, it's out there doing workshops, it's creating content that raises awareness and stuff of this message that I have in a much more hands-on kind of way than just, well, I'm an artist and it worked for me. You know, like, it has to be a bigger, when you're trying to make real change, it has to be a bigger thing than just you, and that's what Soundboard is.
Absolutely. And when it comes to the communities that Soundboard NYC has worked with, what, I guess, have you seen from like these workshops and programs you've offered? What have the communities said, and what's been their feedback?
Yeah, we work with lots of different communities. at the moment. So I work with young people and with adults. But I see the same kind of things in every class, in that some people who may have never told their story or don't talk or don't connect and aren't part of the group, for some reason, if you ask them to express it through lyrics, then they feel able to tell that story. And I've seen people kind of respecting the stories and the narratives and the work of others in the group in a way that I know they don't usually, because I hear from the facility staff that this isn't how things usually go down. And it really creates space for conversations that normal settings don't. When you bring in music and you bring in creativity. So I've had some incredible stories come out of our workshops, and I hope, you know, people develop confidence and they go on to continue writing. We get great feedback, and I just wish we could do more. It's not a particularly scalable thing, running workshops. So we are focusing more these days on the content creation and making films and actually producing media from this work that can be, you know, countless people can watch a YouTube video. Only so many people can take a workshop, and only so many workshops can take place.
Very true. Absolutely. Now, given kind of the success you've already had in your very young life, what would you say has been the key to your success as an artist, as an entrepreneur?
I think that's a real common illusion these days with social media, is that people have success. I wouldn't consider myself a massively successful person at this point in my life, which might sound really selfish. And in terms of lots of things, I am very successful compared to where I've come from. But there's still so much I want to do. There's still so much instability and I have in my life, and what you see on Instagram, and you know, you see somebody at a gig or something. That's not always how it appears in real life. More than ever these days, people are like, but look at her Instagram account. You know, she has this amazing life. But it's hard work. Like, if there's any keys to anything, and I have learned this in the last 4 years in New York and in my whole life, that people are going to knock you down and reject you and pull the rug under from your feet time and time again. And actually, that's not where you fail. Where you succeed is when you get back up again afterwards. And it's even harder after something like that happens repeatedly, which it will, to keep, you know, when you, as an artist, you're really putting yourself out there, and to keep doing that and keep getting rejections and failures, which is what will happen. I think what sets apart, you know, using this word successful, a successful artist from an unsuccessful one, is that you have to just kind of keep going, and that's a really grueling process, and you need a really good support network around you and a really clear mission that is bigger than you.
Absolutely. You are listening to Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guest today is Raegan Sealy, poet, singer, rapper, and the founder of Soundboard NYC. So I completely agree with you, Regan. I think that it's a challenging question, right? When people ask you kind of what makes you successful. I think, you know, obviously you have a wonderful amount of humble pie, but yes, you are successful and you'll continue to be more successful. But I think it's important also to share kind of the I guess what's working, and it's important that people hear, that hard work and more hard work is kind of what it takes. Now, what would you say have been the biggest challenges that you faced as an artist, either here in the States or back where you're from?
I think that's one of them, like to keep going relentlessly when you feel like you just want to literally give up and go home. Just touching on that success thing again, like you might see, Regan was a TED resident and that's great, but like, you know how many other programs I applied to and didn't get into last year, and that's the one that you do see. And it's just important to know there's no shortcuts to anything, and it is hard, but it's if it's what you want to do, it's worth it. But I feel like the biggest challenge is for any artist I know, anybody that is an artist, however far along in their career they are time and money. Like everybody has a side hustle these days, and when you're trying to become an artist and you're in the stage I think I am in at the moment, what I'm trying to do is replace the work that I don't want to be doing but that pays my rent with work I actually want to do, but that I'm not earning enough money doing that yet. So like I want to write more, but I need time to write. But in order to have time, I need money, so I need to work in these other gigs I don't really want to do. And trying to juggle all of that, especially in the city, is hard. And again, it's just about the grind. It's literally just the grind. And you need a good support network around you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that candor, because I think sometimes a lot of people are like, I want to do only what I love and just do that. And absolutely, I think life is really short and it feels shorter if you can't just literally dedicate your time to what you love. But, a part of what you love is sometimes funding that love and that passion with other opportunities that maybe you're not as passionate about, but it's a grateful opportunity to have. It's something you can learn from. It's resume building, all of that stuff. So it is. Yeah. It's a grind. It's a hustle. It's a process. But yeah, I mean, and there are different ways to skin a cat, right? Like not everyone goes about it the same way, but you keep trying to push and find the kind of happy medium of like doing what you love and having multiple sources of income and keeping that grind moving forward. So for you, I guess, what would you say are like resources that you use to kind of perfect your craft and also just grow in the space of being an artist, being a person in entertainment?
Yeah, resources is an interesting word. And I think my best resources are just my friends and my family, and I use them. We use each other. Hopefully we support each other. Like a lot of the freelance gigs that have like kept me afloat in New York City and kept me being able to pay rent and feed myself have come from friends or friends of friends. Like, oh, I know somebody that needs help with this. They've never come through cold applications. Your friends are the people that show up to your gigs and share your Facebook event and share your new music video. And they're also the people, for instance, like in the TED residency program last year, that was a 14-week residency. Those were the people that read my TED talk again and again and again when it went through like 40 different drafts and were like, yes, I like this, I don't like this. They are helping me develop my craft and they're supporting me in that sense. So they are resources in that way, yeah.
Absolutely. And I'd love for you to quickly share a little bit about the TED Talk experience. Not everyone, definitely has that opportunity. What motivated you to do it, and what would you say was the kind of greatest benefit from doing and being part of that experience?
Yeah, I signed up because I was like, yes, I feel like I'm ready in my career to give a TED Talk. I feel like that is the next step for me. And this is just a super supportive way to do it. It's, I think, the best way to do it if you are relatively new to the public speaking field, which I feel like I am. I used to do a lot more performances, and now I tend to be booked for like conferences and things a lot more. But also it's a way to do it in that you do develop this support network. If you spend 14 weeks with a group of people and all of you are like under the most pressure putting together what could be the most important talk of your life, you make really good friends. You form really good relationships. And the whole people call it TED Res, the whole TED Res community, people who have done the residency in past years, they are like your family. I've been to so many come around my house for dinner, come meet me for coffee. They show up and they support new residents. It's a really, Cindy and Katrina, who run the program, have created a real family around it and like a solid support network, which like I've already touched on twice today. Like you can't do anything well without that support network around you. And that's what they've managed to establish at TED Residency. I
love it. Sounds like a really good big brother kind of community. But on the positive flip side, it sounds like, I haven't watched Big Brother, but I see the advertisement.
That would be so entertaining, like a TED Res Big Brother. I'm going to suggest that.
Yeah, you should. You absolutely mentioned my name there.
I will.
Absolutely. You are listening to Our Voices. My name is Natasha Nurse. More with my guest, Raegan Sealy, poet, singer, rapper, and the founder of Soundboard NYC. Next on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse. My guest today is Raegan Sealy, poet, singer, rapper, and the founder of Soundboard NYC. So, Regan, when it comes to getting like tactical, I really want to make sure that, you know, people always can get entertained and educated in anything that I do, any content I put out. So when it comes to being an artist, you know, what is step one for someone? And a lot of us are, right? We have the inner kind of creator as children, and we abandon her or him, but then we revisit them later. But like for someone who's like, you know what, this is something like similar to you that they want to put out in the world, they want to grow, see where it goes. What's step one?
I think it's going to sound really easy, but it's like literally just to start. But I know that sounds ridiculous. But there's a step slightly before that, and that is overcoming the fear of actually just starting. Because I feel like I talk to a lot of young people who are like, I don't know what I want to write. I don't know if it's going to be any good. I don't really know what I want to do. And if you don't start doing something, you're not going to figure that out. So you could write an entire album's worth of music and you might decide afterwards that you don't like it. But you're not going to reach that point if you don't write it first. Gotcha. And I think just finishing something, just writing something and finishing it is way more educational to you as an artist than like any amount of Instagram followers could be, or any kind of branding image that you can come up with. It's one of my favorite artists is a poet and rapper from the UK called Kate Tempest, and she has a lyric in one of her songs that's it's all about the substance, it's not about the image. And I saw so many people these days on social media, they get caught up in what their image is before they've even thought about what their substance is as an artist.
Interesting.
And that's what it starts with.
And as you bring up social media, I guess, how has that changed from your experience, the kind of frontier of being an artist? Is like from a producing perspective and a branding perspective, is the numbers really more important? Not like really, like kind of like what you're saying, like, do you get more attention if you say you have thousands and hundreds of thousands of followers behind you over someone who might be better lyrically or, you know, a more substantive type of artist?
Yeah, it's really difficult. It's good and bad because obviously the internet and social media has completely democratized the music industry, and it's now accessible to anybody, and anyone can put their music out there and get an audience. But at the same time, as an artist, you now have to be a PR person and a marketing and design person and a social media manager, and like I've been asked loads of times when I've been in conversations with people about contracts and stuff, like, so how many social media followers do you have? How many Instagram followers? And I'm like, really? Is that relevant to like what we're doing here? And no, you can have the most incredible artists, and maybe this has always happened, but you have the most incredible talented artists who nobody has heard of. And then you have people who are very big. And another Kate Tempest quote, actually, I can't remember what song it's from, but she says something like, it is your fault if somebody half as talented as you is twice as successful. And that happens so much with social media now. Wow. But I would say, like, take that as, you know, if you know of somebody who has a really big following and you're like, I know my work is better than that, just take that as a motivation of like, well, then if they can make it, then I can. You know, it's yeah, but it's good and bad. You really, it's not important, I think, on the level of integrity, but people ask me all the time about my following, and I get super insecure about it. I think everybody does.
It's hard, yeah. It's because it's another point of judgment, right? And it's another, well, exactly. Like, if you're so good, you know, why aren't a million people following you? And it's like, exactly, because some of it is, you know, could just be darn well luck, right? Like, if some person who has 1 million followers shares your video and then all of a sudden you're viral, then it's like, oh, now I'm validated, right? Like, you can't, the likes and the hearts, you can't dictate dictate your life by it because you go crazy. You know, you have to be the flavor of the month for this month and then not next month. It's a very brutal cycle. But what do you say when it comes to kind of naysayers? Because I don't know what you think, but growing up, I felt like, you know, at least in my background, being of Caribbean descent, that like if I were to be like, Mom, Dad, I want to be an artist, they would look at me with a level of disdain and discomfort that is just totally uncomfortable. And so do you feel like the conversations that people are having now are better than what they used to be 10, 15 years ago with kind of the advent of social media and all these new job titles that never existed before? Are people now a little bit more open to the idea of a non-conventional career? What has been your experience?
I really hope they are. I think people are more open, and there is a bigger demand for just creative industries and creative individuals. And like literally everyone I know has a made-up job, and I say that in that they make their own job. They do lots of different things. You know, I know very few people who just work for a company 9 to 5 because those jobs just seem less and less common. And even if they do work for a company 9 to 5, they also have a podcast and they also run a clothing brand. Like people do so much these days. Yeah, but I don't know. I imagine lots of people are faced with that get a real job thing from their parents a lot. And you know what? Sometimes it sucks to admit you do have to go and get a real job to support the art that you want to create. You know, I did that I waitressed for years. I freelanced in like so many different things and I still do to make money. And that doesn't mean you're not succeeding as an artist. And it doesn't mean that you've given up and gone to work for the man. It's like a balance, and you, like I say, you work to create the things, replace the things that you don't want to do with the things that you do, but that takes time and it takes a lot of work.
Absolutely. And what was I going to say? I agree. You know, I couldn't say it any better. Absolutely. You are listening to Our Voices on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Natasha Nurse, and my guest today is Raegan Sealy, poet, singer, rapper, and founder of Soundboard NYC. So now I would love for just to make sure everyone has your information. If people are interested in connecting with Soundboard NYC, where do they go to champion the organization, as well as, you know, following you and kind of seeing where you're performing and all the great things that you're up to?
Yeah, so soundboard.nyc is the website, and my website is regansealy.com. My name is spelled Raegansealy. It's an Irish name. I'm lucky as Irish names go. It's not a particularly difficult one, but it still confuses people. But yeah, if you go to my website or Soundboard, all the social media accounts are on there. You can hit me up on Instagram. My email is just Regan@regansealy.com. Feel free to email me. I always love to hear from people and try to reply to everybody. So yeah, that's Soundboard is a kind of a separate organization, but there's info about it on my website, and I think there's info about me on the Soundboard website. I don't remember.
Gotcha. Okay. So I would love, before we get to the next section, which is like more personal questions so people can understand you a bit more, what would you say is next for you? Like, what should people be on the lookout for?
Oh, my TED Talk.
Okay.
My TED Talk comes out, I think in April. I actually haven't been told yet, so I'm hoping they'll tell me soon. But I'm pretty sure they're like set for release in April. If you follow me on social media, you will hear all about it once it comes out, obviously. So yeah, that is the next, I hope, big thing. I hope it's a success and lots of people watch it, and it, you know, conveys the message. I hope it will.
Good. Absolutely. All right. So let's get to some fire questions.
Meaning,
yes, we just answer very quickly. Okay. Number one thing on your bucket list.
The pyramids. I want to see the pyramids.
Yes. Okay. Favorite, is that your also favorite place in the world or somewhere separate?
Oh, no. My favorite place in the world would be my mum's house.
Aw, shout out to Mom. Yes.
Hi, Mom.
What is your number one favorite book?
It's like, I think it's a young person's book, but I love Philip Pullman's his Dark Materials trilogy.
Oh.
I've read them so many times. I just love the whole universe he creates and what he kind of is implying about religion and the Catholic Church. It's got so many levels. I think it's a kid's book, but like, I love it.
Absolutely. YA is very popular. So no, that sounds very cool. Okay. How do you unwind and relax?
With Jeff Corey in New York, I jog. I wouldn't call it running. It's definitely jogging. But I go on really long jogs with really loud music in my ears in Central Park. And I also do yoga every night before I go to bed in my little room in Manhattan.
Very, very nice. Okay. If you weren't a poet, singer, rapper, and founder of Soundboard NYC, you would be fill in the blank.
I would be a vet. I love animals. I would be like looking after loads of kittens somewhere or something.
Super cute.
Yeah.
What has been the best advice someone's ever told you?
Don't try to be the next whoever, the next Michael Jackson, the next Beyonce, the next big thing even. Just try to be the first you.
Beautiful. I love that. Yes. Okay. And what's the first thing you do in the morning?
I tea. I don't know. People are like, get up, take a step. I drink loads of water. So when I wake up, I always really need to use the bathroom. So I pee first thing in the morning.
I appreciate your candor. Again, last one would be, what is something no one knows about you?
I feel like if I told you that, it wouldn't be something no one knows about me.
That's what makes it very juicy.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything. People, things I wish people didn't know about me. Like, I don't like to clean, but I like things clean. I'm pretty obsessive about that. That's something most people probably don't associate with musicians.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always on time and stuff. Not like most musicians, unfortunately. When it comes to timekeeping, we tend to run on I call it GMT, general musician time. But I don't. I'm always on time.
Awesome. Well, Raegan, thank you so much for coming on Our Voices. I'm so honored and excited to have you share your story. Absolutely. And thank you. And again, Raegan Sealy, poet, singer, rapper, and founder of Soundboard NYC. I hope our audience found you both as informative and inspiring as I did. My name is Natasha Nurse. I'm the proud host of Our Voices here on 90.3 WHPC. Our show's creative director is Rudy J. Breedy. Visit nccradio.org. That's www.nccradio.org for more information. This will be available as a podcast on iTunes, Android Podcasts, and Spreaker. Our Voices is powered by the Nassau Community College Foundation on the voice of Nassau Community College 90.3 WHPC.